Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're jumping right into a brand new micro-explainer. And honestly, this one is a bit of a trip. We're going to unpack a super brief but incredibly dense piece of internet commentary that recently popped up, and it literally challenges the entire technological trajectory of our species. If you're into the philosophy of tech, you're going to absolutely love this ride. But even if you're just someone who relies on a smartphone every single day, which, let's face it, is all of us, this matters. It completely upends all the foundational assumptions we have about how we build and interact with the digital world.
Okay, let's dive into this. The source material kicks off with this incredibly jarring, hyper-specific statement. The speaker casually brings up biology, but then takes this massive left turn into a totally niche concept, stating they want to talk about, quote, biology electronics that God has created and no one knows a thing about it. I mean, they instantly hook us by mashing together theology, natural biology, and electrical engineering all into a wild premise. The whole idea here is that nature itself operates on an underlying electronic level designed by a creator, and humanity, despite all our fancy tech advancements, is completely in the dark about how the whole shebang actually works.
So, what does this actually mean? The really crucial point is how this commentary defines its central concept, the biological CPU. Now, going strictly by the speaker's own words, a biological CPU isn't something tech companies are currently cooking up in some sterile lab. No, it's framed as a divinely created, pre-existing biological processor. The speaker puts a massive spotlight on this huge gap in human knowledge. They're asserting that this absolute peak computing architecture is already out there, just humming along in the biological world around us, and yet, humanity remains entirely ignorant of it. We literally don't know a thing about it.
And this brilliantly illustrates the stark contrast the speaker is setting up for us. It's like a giant cosmic face-off. In one corner, we have human geopolitical efforts. They specifically call out the Western world and Mr. China. These factions have been sweating away, pouring resources into inorganic CPUs, the traditional silicon chips running our laptops and phones. But according to the speaker, despite all this time and continuous learning, humanity, quote, don't know nothing. Then, in the other corner, you have the alternative: God, biology electronics, and this vast, unknown biological CPU. It's an absolutely fascinating dichotomy. You've got human, inorganic struggle on one side and divine, biological perfection on the other.
All of this stark contrast ultimately builds up to the speaker's core challenge, and it's a big one. They ask, how come you don't know how to make a biological CPU? Actually, just think about that for a second. The speaker throws this down as the ultimate challenge to humanity in our current technological status quo. It's not phrased just as a scientific inquiry, right? It almost feels like an indictment of our progress. We have all these intense geopolitical rivalries, all these massive global supply chains, literally billions of dollars poured into inorganic computing, so why haven't we figured out the biological CPU? The speaker is basically asking if we are just barking up the wrong tree entirely.
And then, well, the commentary just ends. Out of nowhere. Quote, "That's it for this video. Thank you very much. See you in the next video. Bye." I mean, after laying down this massive philosophical and technological gauntlet, they just abruptly sign off. It's brilliantly jarring and honestly kind of funny in how sudden it is. But man, it really leaves you hanging. We're left staring at this supposedly vastly superior field of biology electronics that we apparently know absolute zero about. It really makes you provocatively ponder, if this speaker actually hit the nail on the head and our inorganic path is fundamentally a dead end where we don't know nothing, what on earth would it take for humanity to finally unlock and boot up the first true biological CPU? Are we just forever locked out of this biological mainframe? Or is the biggest technological paradigm shift in history waiting right around the corner? Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and keep questioning the architecture of the world around you.